My husband and I make $179,000 annually, and here's how we split up our finances. The highest priority expense for us is our mortgage, which our loan has about $165,000 left to pay off. Our mortgage payment every month is just over $2,000, and we split that 50-50.
Now she goes on to explain that basically they damn near split all the bills down the middle, outside of like grocery and stuff, because her husband travels and stuff for work, so she's mostly at the house, and they don't have a joint account yet. And boy, you look in those comments, specifically the white women are just lost and confused. They're like, "What the fuck?"
Because most married couples have joint accounts. Most married couples have joint accounts. Like 77% of married couples have joint accounts. 43% of couples only have a joint account. But if you add up joint accounts and like a mix of joint accounts and like, you know, just like they have like a personal account and a joint account, that's 34% plus 43% for just joint accounts. So it's equals 77% of people have joint accounts that are married. That's why they were freaking out. And seeing that the majority of white people get married, they're looking at it from a marriage aspect, because I'm just guessing because more white people get married. So they, you know, they're like, as a married couple, they're like, what? That's crazy, right? But black people, we live a different life. We're black, right? We suffer different stuff. We've been through different shit. You know what I mean? So, you know, we got our own unique outlook on these things. No need to pit black women against white women. You're constantly trying to do that shit. This dude is weird.
What do you mean? That's our money. Take one account. Now, I didn't see too many black women in those comments confused. The few that I did see, they were like, "Oh, that sounds cool." Now, despite TikTok, black women actually will go 50-50 with you.
Black women not only will go 50-50, they're more likely to out earn their men. So don't undersell black women. If you want to get specific about black women, trying to downplay it like they don't mind going 50-50. No, they don't mind paying the bulk of the bills.
And black women will go to work. Black women don't mind going to make their own money, because a lot of,
once again, black women have been working in this country for 450 some odd years, Benny. When haven't they worked? Of course they don't mind working. They've been fucking working this whole time. What are you talking about?
black women were told, like, hey, you always want to have your own. You always want to get your own. You need to be interdependent with the man you actually find. But black women usually don't have an issue.
Too bad black men aren't told to be interdependent with black women. Too bad men aren't taught to be interdependent, period. We're taught to be codependent on women. Black, white don't matter. Men are taught to be codependent with women. Women are taught to be interdependent or independent, and then coming together with another person, which will, I guess, create like a interdependent relationship. But black men are not independent. That's the problem. We're getting taught two different things.
With that, you know, when you actually find one outside of the means of social media and TikTok mush for brains. Because one thing a black woman gonna do is go get that money. But them pale, thin lip reptilians, boy, they in them comments and they are confused. Like, what do you mean you guys don't have one account? What do you mean? And I'm like, because.
Because what? Because what? We're not children. Elaborate. Why do you think they don't have joint accounts?
Me and my wife, right? We just made a joint account like this year, actually.
Oh, I see. He was taking this personally. This was a kick dog hollering. Okay.
They in them comments and they are confused. Like, what do you mean you guys don't have one account? What do you mean? And I'm like, because. Now, me and my wife, right? We just made a joint account like this year, actually. And see, the thing is, when you're a man that has his own and you're a woman that has her own, and y'all come together, it's usually a lot easier just to keep things separate. You know what I'm saying? And you just kind of.
It's really not easier to keep things separate. In my experience, it's way easier to put everything in one pot and then just, I mean, the rent's getting paid. Like, here's what I'm saying. Here's what I don't understand. All the bills are being, like, the major bills, not all of them, but like food, groceries, light, water, whatever, right? They're all like, it's going to come from one place, or I'm sorry, it's easier for it to just come from one place, right? Because what are you doing otherwise, right? If my rent is $3,800, right, I'm responsible for 1,700 of the third. I'm sorry, I'm responsible for the 1,900 of the 3,800. My wife is responsible for the other 1,900, right? Let's say in this case. So do I pay the full 38 and then she does this like math where she'll get the water, but the water bill goes up and down and the light bill goes. So you see what I'm saying? Like, or she gives me $1,900. I'm like, why not just put all the money in one pot and then pull from the pot? Have a separate account. You take out what you need. Have a separate savings account if you want to. Have a separate personal account if you want to, right? Give yourself an allowance. Take $700 a month, put it in that. That'll be for your car, for your gas and your extracurricular and food or whatever, you know what I mean? Whatever. And you got $700 a month, right? That's your budget. And if you run out, I mean, you can always go get more money, but you try to budget for that $700 and you spend it from that account. That way the money is easily tracked, right? As opposed to at the end of the month, you have to itemize everything, or you have to look at some data, some spreadsheet or some shit like that, so you can really like balance the books. But if you just transfer 700, put it in that account, then you don't really need to track it. As long as you stay within that budget, fuck it, right? If you don't spend all 7, you got 150 left over, you put another 7 in there, you roll over, you know what I mean? Or you could do it another way. You could put 450 in there or 550 in there and then make it add up to however you want to do it. You could just say max $700 in this account if I want to. Like, there are many ways you can do this, but it's easier to have it in one pot and you pull from the pot. It's easier to do it that way.
To dictate who's gonna pay what. You still have a sense of independence. And you don't have to ask someone everything or come to that person for every little thing. You know what I'm saying? And it just makes things a lot more smoother.
It doesn't. Why would you need to come to a person for anything? All the money's in the thing. Like I said, budget, set aside a budget for yourself. Set aside a budget for yourself. $500, $600, whatever it is a month. Set aside the budget. That way you don't got to go to them for every fucking thing. You shouldn't have to anyway. It's y'all money. You got a card that's linked to the account. They got a card that's linked to the account. You spend the money. It's fine. You spend the money.
Now, though, that has to make communication and things of that nature and actually having to come to one another, but it gives you a level of self-sufficiency, right? Because I don't want to have to come to my wife and tell her, hey, honey, I'm going to McDonald's. I'm going to use the account. I don't want to have to do that.
If you need to go to your wife to ask her if you can go to McDonald's, this is no shade, no tea to people that do have to do that, then you got bigger problems on your hand. You got bigger problems on your hand. You got bigger fish to fry.
Nor does my wife want to come to me and be like, honey, I'm going to get my nails done. I'm going to use the account. So
nobody is doing that. Me and my wife been sharing an account for 17 years. I don't ask her if I can go get fast food. I don't. I just go get some fast food if I want some.
Like, she has her account, I have my account, and now we have a joint account. But prior to that, it was, hey, I'm gonna pay the mortgage, you pay your car note. Like, it just gives you a level of independence in the relationship to keep things, because we're still human, right? And
no, that's not. You trying to, what is like ego or some shit like that? Like, you're trying to be independent. This gives you more freedom. It's about logistics. It's not about optics. Your money is her money. Whether you got it in separate accounts, y'all are married. Her money is your money. Your money is her money. Like, what are you talking about? Just put it in one pot. You want to make it feel like you're still single? Like, what the fuck?
Plus, I don't want to have to, like, especially with auto pays and things of that nature, I don't feel like changing my accounts. I just don't. Nor did she. I don't want to get new cards. I didn't want to do and go and change all.
You don't got to do that. All you have to do is you can leave $1,000 in that account, and then you can take the bulk of your money, put it in the joint account and then set up your direct deposit to your joint account. Like, shit ain't fucking rocket science. You just making excuses.
I don't like that. So it's just easier to keep them separate. And they're confused because women, they like to control their men. Just don't let social media fool you. They pull the fleece over your eyes, you know. They trick you. But
see, he thinks like a child. He thinks this is about women controlling men, but in reality, it's about men controlling women and being sneaky. He's flipping it around like, oh, they just want to control you. No, they just want to know where the money's going, which makes sense. It's like having a password to your phone as a couple. Some people don't believe in that. Some people do. My wife has my password. My wife can look at all of my accounts. She can see all of my shit. I don't give a fuck. Like, why are you guys are married? What are you hiding? What do you need? You know what I mean? Like, what do you need to hide? It's weird.
In reality, they love to control white men. They be having their foot on them white men's necks. Again, go back to my video about military spouses and
look at him trying to triangulate. I'm telling you, it's so weird, man. All he does is try to triangulate groups of people against other groups of people. Benny, you don't know what it's like. Like, you haven't read anything on this. You don't know anything about it whatsoever, right? Let's be honest. But I'm not here to defend white women with their men. I don't give a fuck about that. I don't care. That's not what it is. I'm just laughing at the fact that it's obvious that you're just trying to triangulate black women against white women against black women, and you're trying to do it through the guys that like white women love to control their men, but black women, y'all be just letting us get away with whatever the fuck we want to get away with, and that's why I fucks with you. Like, bro, shut the fuck up. This shit is stupid. But this is what I wanted to leave y'all with. So if you look up the numbers on this, if you look up I forgot the exact stat, and I just don't feel like looking it up right now. But there's a stat. There's a number out here where they did a study on this, where it was talking about people who don't have like a main joint account, people who don't have joint accounts, they are far more likely to divorce. And it makes perfect sense. If you're in a relationship, you can completely understand why having a joint account, or not having a joint account, I should say, would heighten the chances of divorce. You can just see it, especially for a person, if they're like adamant about not having a joint account, or like vehemently opposed to having a joint account. That is like a red flag, like a motherfucker for me. Like, if I was with a woman and she was like, no, we can't have it would, and I'm saying, like, it wouldn't be like I would just assume they were cheating on me or whatever, which, trust me, I may think that eventually. But initially, I would just be like, okay, there's a disconnect here. There's a level of trust that we haven't reached, and we need to reach it. So what do we need to do to get there? You see what I'm saying? Because once you're married, I'm not understanding, like, we could sleep in the same bed, we could swap spit, swap blood, you know what I mean? I can impregnate you, you know what I mean? But like, we can't have a joint account. Like, what? We can have kids together. Way bigger commitment than joining accounts. Way bigger commitment than getting married even. But we draw the line at joining our accounts. Like, what the fuck is going on, man? It's just weird.